morning. You wanna say good morning?
Hola.
I see.
Bom dia. That's Portuguese. Bom dia.
Okay, so Robert knows Portuguese, which I was unaware. I guess you learn something new every day in your marriage.
Portuguesa.
So as you saw, I've already put together my coffee, but before we get started with our pretty good coffee this morning, let's stop what we're doing, press subscribe, hit the like button, hit the share button, and also hit the bell notification so you're always notified when a new video goes up. And then get your coffee and get your word, and let's get started.
Wow wow. Chicka wow wow.
We're clearly back. We're clearly back. So before we get started, I do want to apologize. I know that I probably sound funny. I got Invisalign last week, so I'm still talking like I have cotton in my mouth. My mouth is also still sore. It's better, but it's still sore. But I do sound like I have cotton in my mouth, so I do apologize. Uh-oh, there's Robbie.
Hey.
So
Applying the brakes gently, y'all.
well, okay, here we go. So yeah, so I do sound like that, and I'm actually gonna pick you up for a second while he drives like a race car person, because we're on our way to a meeting this morning.
Not at all. Not at all. It's premier.
I'm sorry guys about the glare too. Like the sun is like sunning right now. Like really sunning. But let's talk about the coffee first. So I had Starbucks Italian roast, and I have Chobani vanilla creamer, and it's pretty good. I don't necessarily like the Italian roast as much as I like the Verona. The Verona is cocoa and caramel, I think, and then this one is what? Do you remember what this one is?
I don't.
Okay, this one is cocoa and marshmallow.
Can't taste it anyway. Yep,
this one is cocoa and marshmallow. So I think I like the caramelized notes better, but they're both good. It's a dark roast, obviously. So it's nice and strong for this morning. It is a cool day, so it makes me feel nice and cozy. And of course I'm using my Hey Pretty cup because it is Hey Pretty conference week. So I am so excited. I cannot believe that we are finally here, that we're about to see the Pretty crew and the team and all the vendors. It's going to be amazing. And so today, did you have something where you, you were trying to, he was looking at a lane to see if he could switch over. So today I wanted to do Deuteronomy chapter 1 verses 6 through 8, and I'm gonna see, I have a interesting backstory. I actually, one of my projects for my minor degree in African American literature, I did a pretty extensive paper on Deuteronomy and this book called Eden. So shout out to Dr. Horton Stallings. That was a bomb class and a very interesting project. But okay, here we go. So Deuteronomy 1 verses 6 through 8. And maybe Robbie will jump in with some perspective too after he hears the scripture, because he hasn't heard the scripture. And again, sorry about the lighting, guys. We are booking it to this meeting, and it is a lot of sunlight. Oh, but my makeup is pretty. This is pretty. Pretty. Okay, so here we go. The Lord our God, and this is CSB version. The Lord our God spoke to us at Horeb. You have stayed at this mountain long enough. Resume your journey and go to the hill country of the Amorites and their neighbors in the Arabah, the hill country, the Judean foothills, the Negev, and the seacoast, to the land of the Canaanites. Robbie just laughed when I said the Negev. I don't know how to pronounce that, so we're gonna say it's the Negev. It's N-E-G-E-V. And the seacoast, to the land of the Canaanites, and to Lebanon, as far as the great river, the Euphrates River. See, I have set the land before you. Enter and take possession of the land. The Lord swore to give to your ancestors, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and their future descendants. And we just went dark. Hold on, there we are. So again, that is Deuteronomy 1 verses 6 through 8. And I'm gonna put you guys down because I think he's driving normal now.
Normal.
Oh,
exquisitely. You could use different adjectives to describe.
I could.
Or adverbs. You know how you talk about it.
I could. I absolutely could.
more
Okay.
positive ones too.
That was positive. That was positive. Normal was
Like
positive.
premium ones.
Considering how you're actually
Like
driving.
I'm talking about like 3 syllables or more
Yeah.
adjectives.
Okay. So we're gonna talk about that. So Deuteronomy 1 verses 6. Did you hear it when I was reading it? Were you kind of listening, or were you more focused on your driving?
Yeah, God was sending them to a land negative, as I recall.
Okay. I love that for you.
Hmm?
I love that for you. Okay, so I thought this was a really great scripture, one to begin the week with, but also to start the conference week with, because it talks about how God spoke to them and saying, you've stayed at this mountain long enough. And it's really good. Oh, guys, I'm sorry. I just jumped because I didn't want the camera to fall.
I'm gonna fall with me driving. I'm gonna fall. Said I'm easy.
I can't. Okay, because it's talking about you've stayed at this mountain long enough. And what I liked about that and how I felt like it correlated to today and for this situation is that sometimes we've stayed at something way past the expiration date. It's time to do new things, try new things. That the journey itself,
easy.
the journey itself is not complete. And so God has given us this plan and this destination, right? And so sometimes we'll get to a place or a step in the plan and we're like, okay, this is good. We've arrived, this works out, we're good, we're comfortable here. And God is saying it's time that you have to leave this place and resume your journey. You have to keep going to get to the end. This is not the greatest point in the journey. This is not the final point in the journey. And so when God was saying this, like, leave the mountain, to me, when I hear mountain, or you stay at the mountain long enough, it's a high point. It's a good place. It was something that worked well. It wasn't something that was a problem. Was it easy? Not necessarily, but it was a high point, right? And so sometimes we'll mistake the high points for the best point. We'll mistake the high points for the greatest point. We'll mistake the high points for the final point. And here it's saying you've stayed in this place long enough. There is more for you to do. There is more for you to see. There is more for you to conquer. There is more for you to do. And so you have to get out of this place of complacency and being comfortable and thinking that enough is enough, because there's more than that he has set aside. And so he said, like, here, go look at all of these other places. You have to go through these other areas to get to the place that I've promised to you. This is not it. And so that's also telling me that you're occupying a space that actually doesn't belong to you. It's more of a resting spot. And so if you are occupying a place that doesn't belong to you, that means that who it does belong to is coming. And then there can be a battle. And so you'll have more heartache staying in that place that was once a high point than if you had just moved. I'm going to hold it because I know he's going to tell me that it's not going to fall, but it is sliding. You have to take possession of the land that belongs to you, just as the people that where you're occupying right now have to take possession of that land that belongs to them. And so the question is, do you want to be routed, or do you want to leave in peace? Do you want to leave in peace? And so as we kind of embark on conference week and we're thinking about how we've switched it up a little bit, we're not doing it in Gainesville, we're doing it in a whole nother city, and we're taking territory. This is just a step on the journey. It's not the final point, right? Like, God has called and commanded us to do the whole route, not just a portion of the route. And so not being complacent, even with our excitement, even with what we know that God is going to do, how he's going to anoint this space, how he's going to take territory in his name, but that territory belongs to him. It's not our territory. It's not our final place. It's not our resting place. And so even in the joy of building and creating something new in Ocala, we also have to have our mindset on what's next. Where else is he calling us to? And when do we need to move from that? Because that's important, to keep all things in perspective. Bub, did you want to add anything? Or did you have any different thoughts?
Oh no, I think you summarized it very well.
Thanks, babe. That was good.
Yes, it was very good. Oh, you want to grab that?
Yep, I'm gonna grab it. Okay. So we are here now, and we are like, what, 3 minutes late? So that's gonna be it. So I want you to hold Deuteronomy 1 verses 6 through 8 in your heart and really meditate on that, and think about the places that you have become complacent in, you've become comfortable in, because they seem like a high point, but it's really not the end of your journey. And is it time for you to move yourself from this mountain and continue on to the next spot so that you can get to the land that's really for you to possess? Okay, that's it. I hope you have a wonderful week, pretty. Bye.